What's up guys, this is NWD. I'm just going to show you a quick tutorial on how I do all my graphic design. So what you're going to need is Cinema 4D right here. And I use R12 I think. Then Photoshop. I didn't upgrade the CS6 because it doesn't have very much more. I used this for the last 8 months and it works fine. So let's get started. You go off in Cinema 4D, and if you're going to do a logo, you just open up your AI file, which I'll show you real quick. I have a whole bunch for Call of Duty Clans and whatnot. That's because that's where I started. Let's start with Risk. Oh jeez, I'm getting a phone call by someone. Okay, I'm not going to answer that. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So let's go Risk's logo. Sure, why not? Now you have your AI file, or if you want to do text, I'll do both for now. So let's go, you can either go text under your spleens and stuff, and then you have to extrude it with NURBS. You throw the text into the NURBS and it makes it 3D. You do the same thing with your logo, you throw your paths into the NURBS. Let me do that, copy paste them a few times so you can get all the pieces. If they're separate pieces, you have to do them for each individual piece, which takes a long time. Or you could go for text, you go MoGraph, MoText, and it automatically does it for you. But then you can't do any ThrowZ or Greebler on it, which is just plugins, which I have to show you later. It's pretty dope. So you take your text or whatever, you could change the depth, make it longer, whatever you want. I usually go to about 85, so it gives it a little bit of depth. You can add caps under caps, which make it, I'll show you, it makes it have bigger outsiding, right? Gives it an outline. You can go fillet, which is just the outside itself. You can play around with that after you render it, and you can add effects to the text afterwards in Photoshop. I'll show you that later. This might be a longer tutorial, but I could go out in an hour. I'll try and make this like a 20-minute tutorial here. So same thing with this, I'll just group these. So you just group that bad boy, take all your NURBS, make it a length 85, that gives it depth. You render it out, that's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to copy these. I can make a Lightroom right now, but it'll take a while. So I'm just going to open my old one that I've been using a lot. So save, Cinema 4D, rooms. I use my NWD Lightroom. I'll delete all this stuff here. This is all from a previous project. I'm sure you guys have seen before. Delete all those add-ons. Let's cancel those so you can't see. We'll take out that. And the Greebler will take out that. So I'm going to paste both of these. Just make them a little smaller here. So let's do the text first. So you click on your text, you type in whatever text you want. Let's go Risk. And I have over 50,000 fonts, so oh wow, that took no time at all. Never mind. So let's make it something different. Okay, let's go with that. No, that's Russian, I think. No, I don't like that. I don't know Russian. Alright, let's go with not barcode. That's even worse. Oh god. So I'm really picky with fonts. If I don't like it, I'll have to change it around after. So let's go that. Why not? Something that matches the Risk logo. So I'm going to take off the ambient inclusion, global illumination, and object glow. Those are just for when you're rendering it out. So that's what it's going to look like as is. Let's start with the text here. Like I said, you're going to duplicate that. Let's hide this bad boy for now. These two are together, so let's bring them to the top here. So one's going to be random affected and one's going to be Greebler. Greebler, I will show you what this does. Let's do it starting fresh here. I'll just try and show you what I do on a daily basis. So plugins, I installed it, I bought it. Greebler, you throw this bad boy into Greebler, it's going to make it come out with different shapes. See those? Different random shapes and squares and things on it. You can make it really intense. It makes it really futuristic looking. So I already have mine set up. I would show you how I do it, but it would take a long time. I'm going to try and make this a short video. So let's take one of the texts, and let's bring it, oh, where's God? We'll throw it in the Greebler atom array, which I can show you real quick what that is, so forgot about that. So an atom array, if you throw something into it, it'll make it all weird looking, like make it about like an atom. Obviously, it makes sense, doesn't it? So I usually go 15 by 0.1, and it gives that perfect Greebler setting, so it'll make that perfect setting outline for your actual text. So let's throw that in the atom array, which is inside the Greebler. So it's going to look really weird as I read the second. It's going to be really chunky. I'll try and render it out, but it may take a while. Okay, yeah, no, I have a... That's fine. Okay, that's going to look better. See, it's really weird, so you're going to have to play around with it a lot, which takes a long ass time. Pardon my terrible French. So let's go 10 and 10% height. Okay, so that seems alright. Let's see, where is this standing here? Okay, yeah, let's do that, and then we'll bring it up a bit. This is just so you can see the front, side, and top, like any architecture or design. Let's go, now let's duplicate this original one, because we moved it and you want it to be the exact same position, and then just bring it out more. So let's Throwsy this, so that we're going to use another plugin, Throwsy 1.22. Throwsy, you can change anything on it, but let's just go random seed pieces. I usually go 10, just to keep it kind of clean, not too ugly. A little bit of 400%, 500%, good to go. Don't know how that's possible, but it does. Don't worry about it. So let's open all these up. These are just so we can get our materials. I'm just trying to go real fast here. I'm not trying to make anything special. Delete those bad boys, because you don't want to take out those. Those will screw up the shape. So you take out all the materials. There you go. Now we can add materials later. So now these are all Throwsied. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Let's bring them out of it. So now you can see all the little lines here. All these. I'm going to random effector that, which brings it all cracked looking. Like as you can see, it's all cracked looking because it's random effectored. It makes it move in different X, Y, and Z axes, right? So let's keep that like that. Let's add some materials now. So let's open up my materials project 4D texture pack. Let's go metal this time. I usually don't play around with metal because it's harder to use and it makes it really reflective, but why not? Okay, let's make this bad boy look sparkly. Alright, that works. So let's go throw that over the random. And then you're gonna go select our projection to cubic so it covers every part of it. And it's gonna make it have a texture that's ugly as hell, so no, I don't like that. Go away. Do the same thing. Okay. This takes a long time to choose because I'm really picky. Yeah, whatever, that's good enough. It looks really ugly and reflective. Let's give it a color. So I don't want to be that guy, but I'm being that guy. Oh my god. Okay, no. Don't like that. Let's open up. Let's just go stone. That's what I usually use. Makes it look a lot better. Something simple like this. When I found out how to use these textures, I felt like such a noob because they're so old. They do the job. That is ugly. What is going on here? Come on. Work, please. Oh my god. Okay, why don't we just start off simple? Let's go with a green because I'm cool like that. Okay, good enough. So it's not the nicest thing. It's going to stay dark, but that's where you Photoshop it and make it bring out certain areas. That's the whole point of it. Now we have to do the same thing with background, which I really don't want to use that. I want to use a texture because then it makes it look that much better when you throw it into the actual background, which is Greeblered. The Greebler part. Hear that under Greebler, and then you're gonna UVW mapping to cubic once again, so it covers it all, and it's gonna look like it's fixating on something different. It looks really different. I can't explain it, but it looks really good if you do it right. And this is just quick, so this is nothing special. Okay, good enough. It's hard to see. So let's turn down the random effector a bit, which just makes it a little clearer to see. It just brings out cracks in it so it looks a little aged, which I like. So let's go, you open up your render settings, you change the save to risk for tutorial, then you're gonna render it out. You could add cell rendering, which all it is you go like this, you add cell render, and it brings out all of the, like, it's used for, like, you could add it for like architectural blueprints and stuff. It's really neat effect, but I don't use it anymore. It's really old, way too mainstream. I don't want to be a hipster, but yeah. So let's render it out. It takes a while because I have really high render settings. It's off center, but this is just something quick, so whatever. We'll let this load off the Photoshop. Let's go. Usually I take hours on projects to make it perfected, right? So let's go packs. I already have my own, which I took a long time, hours on end, just to get everything right. I've used other people's, don't tell them. I doubt they'll watch this because I'm kind of not known at all. I've used a few color corrections from others, but I don't use them. I just keep them in my kind of exclusion pack just in case. You never know, one day I might find one and like it. It's almost done here. Oh yeah, I forgot to add modeling to it. Okay, I'll show you that real quick while this is going. So chains and stuff like this. So let's say you want to add chains onto it, which I like. I don't know why I like it, but I do. It helps add a lot of modeling effect to it. So let's say you wanted to add chains and stuff. You can tell it would take a long time. Usually you don't go that big, but you just throw chains on it or whatever. Usually there's significance of like adding these little parts. I have a whole bunch I made. I'll show you that real quick. There's so much you can do on this program. I love it. Just there's no colleges that use it, which really sucks. So there's a whole bunch of things you can throw on to model it. Like a few of these I've seen Chexy use on YouTube, so yeah, I just stole that kind of ordeal from them. My bad. But yeah, you throw these on there and model it to the way you want, whatever. And then you can add the chain, whatever, to wherever. It's whatever you want. I know I'm saying whatever a lot, but that's exactly what it is. It's whatever you want. That's why I like doing this. It just expresses whatever you want to do. So I open a Facebook cover template at 851 by 351, which is the template size. So my render is going to be a lot bigger than what it is. So let's go to saves, PSCS5, risk. Where did you go, buddy? Risk tip. There you go. So this is what it rendered out to be. It's decent. It looks alright. I have alpha channeling, so it deletes all the background, all the black in it, so only the parts that have been touched. So this is what it's going to look like. Not bad. Looking semi-decent. So let's drag it onto here so we can use it for color correction. We'll drag it to the bottom because layers, whatever is on top, casts over the top, or the bottom ones. Okay, come on. Okay, it's already on dirt. So let's throw this at the top here, delete the NWD. So that's just so you can check out any color correction you want. It's going to be really dark to start off, as you can see. So I just go through them. I know what one I'd be using right now. But this just gives you an idea of what you can do. I usually go blue and then I go to the graph seed. Give it that little kind of gray effect. So I drag that onto the cover template here. It's already staying there, and you can screw around if you want. These are all pre-made. Like as you can see, it has gradient maps, which I could show you what they are. You just go to the circle. It's like that. You go gradient map. For instance, I always use the orange/blue. Let's drag that onto the real thing, and this is the best for changing up the color scheme. And it gives it that warm/cool color effect. This is all when it's finished, like as you can see, when you got your whole photoshopping done. So let's just start with that. We'll turn down the color fill a little bit so it's not as gray. Let's go 25%. I like even numbers, or like up by 5s per se. Don't ask why. So let's start pimping this bad boy out. So now you're gonna go, if you want you could add textures to it, which I usually don't do. I do that in Photoshop or Cinema 4D because that just makes it a lot easier. Like for instance, you could throw this on here. This is just quick here. I don't want to make it Mona Lisa. So you can add that kind of, yeah, as you can see, it helps a little bit. It depends what you want, and then you can always shade it in here and there. Right. Or you could keep it on the outside only, or whatever you want. I don't know. I don't usually use textures, but I have like millions of them. So let's go flares. This is, you can tell this is something I like to do. Just add flares on top or wherever. It just brings out the lettering. I usually give it a little bit of a less actual flare length, and then I can outline the letters or whatever. It's all what you want to do. This is usually what I do. I only add a little bit. Let's change the background color to black. That's just because then it brings out the coloring. Sometimes I do gray, sometimes I add it into photo manipulation, which I'll do next time. That's actually really fun. I love doing it. Let's go manipulation flares. I like this one. I always use this one. You can change it around, warp it around, do whatever you want. So let's drag that to the very top. Let's go screen, which just makes it light up the whole environment. And shrink it down a bit so it's not too big. Actually, it's a little bit bigger. Let's do that. And then as you can see, there's a little line on the bottom, so I just take an eraser brush that's fairly big and outline the edges there. And let's turn this a bit so there's a little bit of like and then let's go do something different. So lines. You could add whatever you want for effects. Let's do this for instance. You can add particles, whatever. You can create clipping masks, the initial product that you rendered out, so it only connects to certain parts, or whatever you want, warp it around. But I usually keep to my original effects that I use, so let's show you them. Particles. Stocks are good too, because you can add a whole bunch of different things. Effects. I've already given out this exclusion pack to people, just if anyone wants to use it or whatever, it's cool. So you can add effects here and there. I kind of try and not cover the whole text, and I give it a little bit of break. It just makes it a little grungier. I have rulers on the sides to give me a decent plot out. As you can tell, it would take a while to do, but I think it's fun. So let's do that. And let's keep it simple. I always add bubbles. I do not know why I add bubbles. It just gives it that nice little effect. I don't know. I really don't know. Just like that. I just kind of do it some of the opacity. You could always turn opacity down by the opacity thing right here. Most people know Photoshop good enough to do that or whatever. Then I add rain now. I don't know, it just gives it a little pattern. Like it gives it almost a pattern detailing. Yeah, I like it. And then I could always add pattern overlays, extras, stars, space, anything you want. So now this is where it gets fun for me, because that I used to be all using effects and color correction and stuff. Now it's all merging layer. So this, all I did there was I grabbed all my layers, I held Alt, went to merge layers, which is Control E, but I just do that. That makes all of the layers come into one single layer, which you can edit the picture after. So now let's do some things I like to do. So most people don't notice, but I like to go across the screen a few times with an eraser. Just a few times. I usually do the middle, top, and bottom, or you could do little lines, which looks even better. I usually tend to, let's zoom out a little bit, grab the corners, turn it like by like 2 degrees, 3, 4 degrees, whatever degrees you may want to call it. Then I move it over about 2 clicks, which this is such minute stuff, but I'm just a perfectionist when it comes to this. I have to make it good. Let's blur it out by 2 pixels, and then let's ripple effect. And lots of people don't use ripple effect. I think it looks really nice if you do it right. Now let's turn the opacity down to about, let's go 60, no, let's go 50%. And it gives it that little clean blur that you can see. And you could always delete around some of the parts you don't like it on. But it gives that little bit of a blur effect. And then I play around with so many layers at the end where I can add different filters. I'll show you the filters real quick. We're almost done here. Hopefully this wasn't too long of a tutorial. I kind of got lost in it. So you can add whole different kinds of, I usually do glowing edges for a bit, and so it brings out some of the background. You could add any effect you want. Textures, you can make it really neat looking. Whatever you want. But I usually go dark strokes. I usually use oil painting, which is really cool, but of course my plugin broke, so I can't use it anymore. Let's create a clipping mask of that, which just covers the original layer. Excuse me. And change the effect. This is one of your most important things right here, is this tab. I never knew about it, and that screwed me right over. Actually, let's not go. This just gives it a little bit of grunge percent. I don't know. Take it off on spots. On spots to keep it, whatever you want. This isn't the nicest thing, but this just gives you my style. It takes a while, but it does the trick, you know. I'm getting text messages from random people. It's really okay, no. So that's basically it, people. What I usually do, which can look really good, is go like this. I usually use this to highlight certain places. Let's go with the blue. Okay, I already have like alpha brushes. It goes. Whoops. Glow brush. Never used that bad word before. Oh, perfect. So there's blue. Splat that around. Whatever. This is super ugly, I know. I'm getting phone calls left, right, center. Hold on. Jesus. But this is terrible. Don't ever use these kind of brushes, but you know what I mean. It gives you little effects here and there. Usually you can outline them using the original. So like this. This is usually what I do. This is just something extra. I usually outline it. Adds a little bit of effect, brings out the actual initial lettering and modeling. You can give it any effect you want like that, but let's keep it like that. You go save for web devices. Always go original PNG 24. PNG is the best, highest quality. Then you save it. Let's go risk. Boom, boom, you're good to go. Save as PSD file somewhere. Go PSD, save there. This, boom, shalom. Good to go. That's all you have to do for my graphics. Something simple. I'll show you manipulations next. It's a lot more fun. Hopefully I can find another Foz song for the outro or the background music. Crazy artist, like I said. He's gonna go somewhere, guaranteed. Big shout out to him, all the other producers, Rager, everyone, Jealousy, big ups, boys. I'll catch you next time. This is NWD. Peace out. I'll be here spitting bars till I'm sure I think it's back to me.